Hi everyone, Allison Hartson here. I want to catch you up on a really important bill regarding net neutrality that is up for a committee hearing tomorrow, Wednesday, June 20th. Why this is important, how exactly you can help, and why it's in danger of not passing and or being watered down, as our state legislature is pretty common, pretty famous for doing, and really why this matters so much on the national stage. So net neutrality, I like to call it net freedom, having the freedom to access information without censorship, without being able to throttle websites, without ISPs being able to favor one website over another, just continuing to play into the problems that we see in the physical world, if you will, in regards to big businesses and monopolies over small businesses. And again, just access to information, being able to communicate with each other like this, being able to have independent media. Imagine with the net neutrality regulations that were struck down by the chairman of the FCC, Ajit Pai, just last year. Imagine what that's going to do eventually in terms of big business coming in and being able to favor some businesses over others, some sites over others, and being able to use that as an excuse for shutting out anybody who challenges the government, anybody who challenges big business that is in bed with our government. So the two bills are Senate Bill SB 822 and Senate Bill 460. Now, one of these is not like the other. One of them is stronger than the other. The stronger one is 822. The weaker one is 460. SB 822 is by, I think he pronounces his name Weiner, Senator Weiner. And either way you say it, it's not flattering. And the other one is 460 is by Senator Kevin De Leon. That's the weaker one. Not all that surprising. I've given you guys stories, if you've seen it, about like how much money he's taken from AT&T and the telecom industry. And so, but you know what? He's not alone. And I'm going to talk to you about that, this committee that's going to be hearing these bills tomorrow in the Assembly, how much money they are taking from AT&T and the telecom industry. But first, between these two bills, so some things to know is that 822 was written in consultation with the Electronic Frontier Foundation. And the Electronic Frontier Foundation is a nonprofit that was started in 1990, whose sole mission is to fight for civil liberties in the digital world. And so they have a really strong grasp of what we need legislatively in regards to fight for our net freedom. And they helped to write this. 460 was introduced first by Kevin De Leon. They came in with a stronger bill, 822, and so they've both passed the Senate. And now they've been going neck and neck. Kevin De Leon's been fighting for his weaker one. Weiner and a slew of like 48 organizations wrote a letter to the committee that it's going to tomorrow. I'll get to that in a minute, fighting for this stronger one. So now what they've come down to is they've amended both 822 and 460, and they're talking about passing both of them as one piece of legislation and making sure that that one piece is the strongest components of both 822 and 460. Let's talk about why these are in danger. So first of all, 822 being as strong as it is means that it's really more favoring users, being we the people, and not the ISP servers and the telecom industry, and AT&T in particular. And so the entire committee takes money, a lot of money, from AT&T and the telecom industry as a whole. So there's one member on this 13-member committee who has only received $2,000 from AT&T. It's practically nothing, just be an aggregate of several individuals who work at AT&T. But what you have is the chair of the committee, Assembly Member Santiago, who has received over $22,000 from AT&T alone. and almost $90,000 from the telecom industry. Representative or Assembly Member Bonta, I'm assuming is how it's pronounced, has received almost $32,000 from AT&T and almost $85,000 from the telecom industry. All of the Democrats on here have. Again, this one, Kamlager Dove, has only received $2,000. The rest have received multiple. I take that back. Quirk Silva has received $5,000 from AT&T, almost $20,000 from the telecom industry, so not as much as Assembly Member Santiago. The Republicans have as well. Republican Mindshine has received over $28,000 from AT&T and just under $80,000 from the telecom industry. So there's a long list of these, and you know, the point being that follow the money, right? I feel like a broken record constantly saying this, but we have to keep saying it until it changes. So the way that you can help is to call your assembly member and call the chair of this committee. I'm going to put in the video the call information, the Capitol phone number and the district phone number of the chairman. His name is Santiago, or Assembly Member Santiago, as we call them here in California, Assembly Members. In some states, it's representative. And so Assembly Member Santiago is the chair, and he represents downtown LA-ish area. If you are not in that area, he's still representing you in the sense that he's going to have a huge say. This is just the way it works, whether we like it or not. The chair of a committee ultimately ends up deciding what gets a vote, you know, what goes to committee, what's going to pass. They have so much of a say in that regard. And so he does represent you because only if it passes the committee, it then goes on to the assembly floor where your assembly member can then vote for it, where all of the assembly members can vote. And so we need Santiago on board. But of course, we need enough votes in the entire committee for this to pass. Now, the committee is Assembly Communications and Conveyance Committee. Assembly Communications and Conveyance Committee. I will, again, in this video down below, I will put the information for the committee. If you really want to, you could contact every single one of the members on this committee. I would strongly encourage you to do so. Contact every member, contact your own assembly member. If you've never called or emailed a legislator before, it is really easy. You do not have to overthink it as some people tend to do. Just simply call them and say, hi, my name is, and I'm a constituent, or I live in, like, whatever your county or your city is, and I'm calling about SB 822, and I want to urge support and passage of this legislation in the Assembly Communications and Conveyance Committee tomorrow. I'll be watching the vote. Thank you so much. Like, you can make it that simple. Some of you will want to get into details and have a conversation with those you call. That's fine. But just like, even just saying, I just want to call and say, I support this, goes a really long way, a lot further than not making the call at all. So please keep that in mind. But I'm also going to put in here a couple links to articles if you want to read more about these bills in particular or read the bills themselves. Let me know if you have any questions. I'm happy to help and answer. You can tweet at me, Hartson for CA, for spelled out FOR, and I'll see if I can get you some more information if you need it. But check out down below in the video for links to articles that you can read about this and how to get a hold of your assembly members.